Good morning, all. So I am continuing yesterday's topic. So, in yesterday's class, I am discussing about characteristics of personal management. So, one, two, three, four, five, six. So six are completed, and the remaining we have to. I am continuing. I am discussing today. Okay, in today's class. So after that, another important characteristic of personal management is fair remuneration. So fair remuneration is very, very important. So depending upon the performance and work of the employee, then you have to compensate and have to give fair remuneration to that employee. So they should also be given fair incentives or rewards to recognize good performance. Those who are showing a good performance in their job or in work, then we are giving fair incentives and also rewards. Then it develops industrial peace. Ultimately, it develops industrial peace. That is very, very important because nobody uh, is dissatisfaction. So everybody is satisfied because what they are doing according to their work, they are getting benefit from the organization in a fair way. Then ultimately, it develops industrial peace. So peaceful environment in the organization. So then next one, effective utilization of human resources. So after that, there is effective utilization of human resources. So the personal management should always utilize the human resources up to the efficiency and effort of the employee. So the skills and abilities of human resources should be effectively utilized. So the skills they are having and also the abilities the employees are having, we should use in an effective manner, and proper training facilities should be provided to workers, and also you have to provide proper training facilities should be provided to workers, and also you have to provide proper training facilities to workers. Then they are able to develop their skills and knowledge and abilities. And human resource management is an art to get the work done by the people. So human resource management is nothing but the art of get the work done by the people. So what you are required, suppose what type of work you are expecting the employee, that work is done in a beautiful manner. That means what you are want from others, so you are tactically and artistically do that work with them. Okay, doing that work with them. So that is also very, very important. Doing work with others is a great art of manager. So simply I said. Okay, so working with others is not an easy thing. What you are expecting from others or employee, so you have to done in an artistic way. Then to get the desired result. So what you are expecting, what result you have to expecting, then you have to get the result in an artistic manner. For this, employee should be given humanly treated in the organization. For that purpose, you have to treat the employees in a humanity, with a humanity. So you are also a human being, and also the employee is also a human being. So both are having the same rights. So you give respect to the employee, and also they are giving respect. So you don't underestimate anyone, and don't show. Suppose you don't see the employees are a second level people. So this type of feelings you have to remove from your mind. and you treat the employees also human beings. They are also having likes, they are also having the rights as like as you. They are also having self-respect and self-dignity. So you respect the dignity and respect of others. Okay, so that is very, very important. Then next one, participation. So participation is another characteristic. This principle emphasizes the idea of labor participation in the management of the enterprise. So the labor is also participation in the management of the enterprise. So they are also playing a crucial role in the management. Workers' participation in management aims at increasing productivity of labor by improving cooperation between employer and employees. So in this way, the labor is participated in the management of enterprise, then ultimately it increasing productivity and also improving cooperation between employer and employee, and also it gives and it improves cooperation in between management and employees. So that is very, very important. So then after that, contribution to national prosperity. After that, another important thing is contribution to national prosperity. So in this principle stresses to provide a higher purpose of work to all employees and to contribute to national prosperity. So which country is having the higher productivity from the employees, from the human resources, then ultimately the country is in a good position, and the financial position of that country is also in a good position, and the GDP is also good, and also national income is also good. For this purpose, and ultimately the nation is in a prosperous way. That means prosperity, that means lightens. Okay, so it enlightens in all the ways. So for this purpose, human resources management should develop the sense of participation in labor to make them realize that their efforts alone can contribute to the prosperity of the organization and of the country. So for this purpose, the human resource should develop the sense of participation in labor. So human resource management, participation, the sense of participation in labor to make them realize that their efforts. So everybody should know their efforts and also alone to contribute, and also they contribute in the prosperity of the organization, and that means development of the organization and also country. So in this way, the workers and the employees are also contributing to national prosperity. Okay, so these are the characteristics of a personnel management. Next important topic. So that means this is the art of the unit. So very, very important. Functions of human resource manager or human resource management, both are same. So sometimes they are asking functions of human resource management and functions of human resource manager, both are same. So don't worry about this. So in any way, in two questions, you are giving same answer. Okay, functions of human resource manager or functions of human resource management. So some of the major functions of human resource management are as follows. One is managerial functions and second one is operative functions. So the human resource management functions of human resource management is divided into two categories. One is managerial functions and second one is operative functions. So human resource or personal department is established in most of the organizations. So I think so because whether it is a small company or a big company, they are definitely having the human resource or personal development personal personnel department under the charge of an executive known as human resource or personnel manager. So the name of the manager is human resource manager or personnel manager. He is an executive. So he will take care about all the activities of the human resource management. This department plays an important role in the efficient management of human resources. So the main role of this department is it plays a crucial role and efficient management of human resources. Then the personnel department gives assistance and provides service to all other departments on personnel matters. So these departments give assistance to all the departments and also provide service to all the departments in regarding personal matters. Personal matters means human resource matters. So though personal or human resource manager is a staff officer in relation to other departments of the enterprise, he has a line authority to get orders executed within his department. So the human resources manager is a staff officer already. So I am differentiate what is the line authority and what is the staff authority. So staff authority, that means staff employees are supporting to the remaining departments, that means remaining managers. So and they are also having line authority. So to get orders executed within his department. So the role of the human resource manager is he supports to remaining departments managers, and also he has the authority to get orders executed within his department. For his department, he is the topmost authority. So he gives orders to the department employees. Okay, so he has line authority and also staff authority. Okay, so then first we have to discuss about managerial functions. So the first category, the human resource manager is a part of the organizational management. That is also part of the organizational. Human resource manager is also part of the organizational management. So he must perform the basic managerial functions of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling in relation to his department. So the management functions which are already discussed in the first unit. So the general management functions are also, in general, he follows all the functions of general management. So he plans his department, he organizes his department, he directing his department, and he is controlling in his department. So the human resource department is planned by the human resource manager and organized by the human resource manager and directed by the human resource manager and controlled by the human resource manager. The basic functions of the management. So under this first one is the planning. So in the view of human resource manager, the planning is to get things done through the subordinates. So you are getting things from the subordinates. And a manager must plan ahead. For that purpose, the manager has a plan. So how to getting things done from others. So planning is necessary to determine the goals of the organization and lay down policies and procedures to reach the goals. So the planning is necessary to determine the goals of the organization. First, you have to determine the goals of the organization and also policies and procedures to reach the goals. So how to reach the goals? For that purpose, you have to lay down the policies and procedures also. For a human resource manager, planning means the determination of personal programs that will contribute to the goals of the enterprise. Anticipating vacancies, planning job requirements, job descriptions, and determination of the sources of the recruitment. So according to the human resource management, the planning means anticipating vacancies. So that means there is no vacancies, vacant positions in the organization, you have to fill immediately. And planning job requirements. So what are the requirements for a required job? and job description, what is the description of the job, and determination of the sources of recruitment, and what are the sources of recruitment, either external resources or internal sources. Okay, so you have to determine which one of them, so either it is external or a internal. And the process of personnel planning involves three essential steps. So the process of personnel planning or human resource planning involves three essential steps. So what are they? So firstly, a supply and demand forecast for each job category is made. So what is the demand and what is the supply? So suppose we are required some skilled people, there is that people are available or not. The demand is how the demand is in the market for that role or job, and how much supply. So there is a required number of people are there or not. Okay, so this step requires knowledge to both labor market conditions and the strategic posture and goals of the organization. So in this step, we requires knowledge to both labor market conditions. So what is the condition of the labor market and the strategic posture and goals of the organization? And you have to know about the goals of the organization. What is the strategy to acquire the new employees for the organization? So the recruiter or the human resource manager having the knowledge about these two things. This is the first step. And second thing is net shortage and excess of personnel by job category and projected for a specific time horizon. So you have to regularly check within a time period, suppose within 2 months or 3 months or after 4 months or 6 months. So according to the situation, you have to plan the time schedule. So you have to identify the net shortage and excess of personnel. So is there any shortage or is there any excess members in the organization? Employees, that means employees. Is there any shortage of employees or is there any excess of employees? Then you have to project each and every category. Is there any requirement or is there any excess? So that is the second thing. And the third thing is plans are developed to eliminate the forecast shortages and excess of particular categories of human resources. So then after that, you have to develop a plan for eliminate the forecast shortages. So is there any shortage of the employees? Then you have to recruit the new people. Or is there any excess of employees in category? Then you have to remove that persons from their jobs, or you have to shift to another department. Is there any requirement is there? So these are the three steps and plan. So after that, organizing. So organizing is also important function. So once the human resource manager has established objectives and developed plans and programs to reach them, he must design and develop organizational structure to carry out the various operations. So after human resource manager, once he established the objectives, so once he decided the objectives and developed plans and programs to reach them, so after that he develops a plan and programs how to reach the objectives. According to the objectives, he must design and develop organizational structure to carry out the various operations. So according to that, he design and develop the organizational structure to carry out the various operations according to the objectives of the organization already developed by the human resource manager. Then the organizational structure basically includes the following. So the organizational structure requires these four things basically includes. One is grouping of personnel activity logically into functions or positions. So first important thing is grouping of personnel activities. So depending upon the activity type, so which are related to same, then you have to group them and logically into functions or positions. So then according to the activities, grouping of activities, then you have to, that activities, the group of activities is allotted to someone or some position. Then assignment of different functions to different individuals. So assignment of different functions to different individuals, that is also there. There is no problem at all. You have to assign the different functions to the different individuals. And the delegation of authority according to the task assigned and responsibilities somewhat. So according to the assignment, task assignment, that means what type of task you have to assign. So according to that, you have to give the authority and responsibilities to that person. And coordination of activities of different individuals. After that, coordinate the activities of different individuals. That means the coordination in between the employees while performing the activities. And next, third function is directing. So directing is another important function. So the plans are to be pure into effect by people, but how smoothly the plans are implemented depends on the motivation of people. So the plans are to be pure into effect by people, but how smoothly the plans are implemented depends on the motivation of people. So the success, suppose we are successfully implementing the plans, only it is completely dependent on motivation of the people. So if you are having the motivated people, then only we are successfully implementing the plans. Okay, it is completely depends upon motivation of people. So the direction function of the personnel manager involves encouraging people to work willingly and effectively for the goals of the enterprise. So the function in the directing function, it is the human resource manager involves encouraging people. He always trying to encourage the people to work willingly. So heartfully, the employees are doing that work and with a commitment and effectively for the goals of the enterprise. And the main thing is they are working effectively for reaching the goals of the enterprise. In other words, the direction function is meant to guide and motivate the people to accomplish the personal programs. So another meaning is to guide and motivate the people. That means employees to accomplish the personal programs. So how to develop personal programs? So the personnel manager can motivate the employees in an organization to career planning, salary administration, ensuring employee morale, developing cordial relationships, and provisions of safety, requirements, and welfare of employees. So the personnel manager can motivate the employees in an organization through career planning. He always motivates the employees career planning, how to plan the career. So how to develop your career, and salary administration. So how to administer, how to use your salary and how to administer your salary. So ensuring people moral, and also employees are always in a moral. That means having good qualities and attitudes, and developing cordial relationships, and also developing cordial relationships, artful relations, and provisions of safety requirements. After that, we have to provision of safety requirements. So safety, for safety of employees, there is no compromise. So we are providing 100% safety requirements for the employees and welfare of employees. So and I have to think about welfare of the employees. So something uh, about their personal issues. So health issues and some life insurance, and also have to provide some disability. Suppose is there any disability suddenly. So right now the Tata company is take the decision. Suppose the employment retirement is 60 years. Those who are working in the Tata company, they are died with corona. So the company gives salary to that employee family up to 60 years. That means uh, suppose right now the age of the employee is 40 or 45 years. So from right now, they are giving the salary to 15 years. That means 45 years. The service is 60 years. Remaining 15 years service is there. So the Tata company paid the salary to that employee family every month up to 15 years. Okay, from till now. That means the age of the employee should reach the 60 years. Up to that period, the Tata company will give the salary to the employee family. Okay, so the great decision is taken by the Tata company. So this is the welfare of the employee. So the family and the remaining employees are also very much satisfied with the policy, this policy. So because they felt very happy and they feel very security. So is there any unexpected things are happen due to COVID situation? So the employee feels very security about their family because the family is getting salary up to 60 years service. So ultimately the family doesn't face any problem. So ultimately the life is not get into back. So we are not taking the life of the employee. So but the survival of the family is not a problem. Okay, so this is very good decision taken by Tata company. Okay, so this is the humanity. Okay, so the management think about this type of things. Even so many companies are there, but the Tata company is only the company is come forward and it is a role model. It is a role model to others. So the welfare of the employees, that is very, very good decision. Okay, so after that, the Tata is taking this decision, and the Reliance company, Jio company, Mukesh Ambani is also taking the decision. So, but he is not giving the salary up to 60 years. That means up to retirement age, but they give lump sum amount 10 lakhs or something directly to that employee family, and they are going to fix a deposit. So after fixed deposit, they are getting some interest on that amount, then that is given to that family. So in this way they are also helping. So like this, anything. So we are not discouraging. So if any idea is encouraged or we are appreciated, so in any way they are giving support to the employee family. Okay, so these are the welfare activities. Okay, so the motivational function poses a great challenge for any manager. Okay, so the motivation function is very a great challenge for every manager. So the personal manager must have the ability to identify the needs of employees and the means and methods of satisfying those needs. And the personal manager should always to know and identify the needs of the employees. Okay, what they are expecting and what they are need from the organization. Then he always identifies the needs of the employees and the requirement of the employees and also satisfy those needs. So how to fulfill their needs? So according to the situation and the time and depending upon the money factors, so as early as possible you have to provide that needs to the employee. So motivation is a continuous process as new needs and expectations emerge among employees when old ones are satisfied. So after existing needs are satisfied, the employees are always need some other things. That means more needs. That means new needs are arised. It is a continuous process. So after that, the old ones are satisfied. Then the new ones are started. New needs are started. So then You have to identify them also, and also you have to fulfill that also. So that means the reasonable things only, not not an extra things. So the reasonable things you have to satisfy. Okay. So that is important one. Then next one is fourth one. So fourth one is controlling function. So controlling is concerned with the regulation of activities in accordance with the plans, which in turn have been formulated on the basis of the objectives of the organization. Okay. So controlling is concerned with the regulation of activities. Okay. So controlling means you have to regulate the activities of the employees according to the plans. That means every employee is working according to the plans and policies of the organization or not, and they are always the employees are all working according to the objectives of the organization or not, because every work done by the employee should always related to the policies and plans and objectives of the organization, according to the objectives of the organization only. So the controlling completes the cycle and leads back to planning. So the after completion of the controlling process, then it come into the planning. The process is coming into the planning. That means it is a cycle process. So where the that means the controlling, after the controlling function, again we are going to the planning. So it involves the observation and comparison of results with the standard and correction of deviations that may occur. So it involves observation and comparison of results. So how the employees are working, how to compare with one with another, and corrections of deviations. Is there any corrections or is there any deviations? You have to correct them. So controlling helps the personnel manager to evaluate the control and the performance of the personnel department in terms of various operative functions. So the controlling always helps to the personnel manager to evaluate the control the performance of the personnel department. So you have to evaluate and control the performance of the human resource department in terms of various operative functions. So after that, there is some operative functions. You have to control and evaluate all of them. It involves performance appraisal, critical examination of personal records, and statistics and personal audit. So it is done through personal performance appraisal. So you have to measure the performance of the employees and a critical examination of personal records. And after that, you have to examine the personal records and also statistics and personal audit. That means you have to evaluate each and every personnel, whether they are giving good performance or not. Okay. So these are the managerial functions of a human resource manager. Okay. Today I stopped over here. Okay.